Sharrett Willingham, just go through some blokes on their way back. He's obviously waffle bound.
Yes.
Andrew Embley comes back into at least.
He's available to play. Yeah.
He's pretty cut up by the I guess the image of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which didn't. I know the current footy it seems as over the top. That I guess from your time it's.
Yeah, it's a different environment they play in these days. So that was seen as not acceptable in today's football, and it did upset him.
He's available. Does that mean he'll play for the Eagles this weekend?
It doesn't mean he'll play, no, but he's up for selection, and we'll have a good look at his role for us.
Does what he's done over the years and everything come into calculation?
Carries a fair bit of weight for him, yeah. He's a very well-respected player in the club, but our job is also to put the best 22 out to win this game.
Does experience come into fact? Now you know the calculations, or sort of know how many games you have to win. Does the experienced players get the leg up ahead of the younger kids?
Not really. No, it's still going to be around the guys that are in form to play the roles that we need them to play. So we're not at a point now where we're looking at the difference in experience and those sort of things. It's form.
You've used Andrew as a sub, I think, once or twice?
Yeah, probably twice, I'd guess.
Have you toyed with the idea of maybe making that a thing with your older players like G and Syracuse has?
Yeah, you spend a fair bit of time working out who plays as your sub each week. Often it's a guy who's building back that you expect to come in and play in the 21, but they're coming back from injury. So it's an opportunity to give them limited exposure on their way back. So there's a variety of reasons you'd look at how you're using that sub. We haven't specifically narrowed it down and say we'll use it in that way every week, but there are weeks where we may do that for sure.
Are some of your older players, John, struggling to get 4 quarters out of themselves now? They seem to be good for...
Yeah, it depends which ones. Need to be specific probably. Right at the moment, Kerr's got a couple of other injury issues that he's dealing with. I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's just injuries he's been carrying.
Is it a preparation thing too? Like, obviously you had a very interrupted...
no doubt, yeah. Your overall pre-season and then the work you do in season and continuity of playing games and things like that, they certainly affect how well you run games out. And there does come a breaking point where you think guys need to go back and play full ground time in the waffle to build that fitness, and we've elected to do that with a couple of players this year, with Embley once and with Adam Selwood. And we took Beau Waters out to get more training volume into him over a couple of weeks, 3-week period maybe. The sub fits in there somewhere in all things you take into account.
Just on the older players, is Darren Glass okay? Obviously, it was a couple of years ago he just worked through some injury problems.
Yeah, no, he's good.
He's 100%?
Yeah. Why, you're not happy with his form?
You talk about his form, let's talk about how he's
feeling good, playing good, yeah.
Is Adam Selwood fit this week, John?
He joined in full training today, and so I think the plan is that he's back playing when East Perth start playing again. They've got bye this week, bye next week.
And just back on Wellingham, can you give us a bit of a run through of what he's been up to over the past few weeks in terms of building up his fitness?
It's gradually increasing his workload to build up his fitness. That's the answer. So he's been going really well, training pretty hard. If you watch him train, you would say, geez, you could pick him to play now. He's training really well.
He looked super fit the last time he came back. Is he just one of those players who really regained quite quickly?
Well, he's worked hard. He worked really hard in his rehab time last time, and he's done that again. So looking really fit and then playing full games of AFL footy are still two different things. You do take a little bit of time to get your full fitness back up.
Do you have any idea how many games it needs?
Not really, no. We'll just see how he pulls up from this weekend. How they pull up will dictate part of them being up for selection as well.
So where will he play this weekend, John? You've had
Claremont.
Claremont Reserves.
Yep.
Any chance if he gets through with flying colours and pulls up well, you would consider him for AFL selection?
Yeah.
This game?
Yeah, we would, providing all those criteria come together. He pulls up well, gets through, no worries. We would weigh up what he adds to the squad and what we'd expect from him.
And where's Josh Hill at? He's been...
Yeah, he's right to go.
That was a hamstring, was
Yep.
it? Or?
Yep, 100 games this week. AFL footy, it's a good effort.
What's he brought to the team? Obviously, he was critical cover for Lacroix last
And
year.
Nikoski.
What does he add with Lacroix back and playing this year?
Well, Josh got, he's a danger in the air. He can mark really well. And his pace is always a threat to the opposition. Reads the ball well off hands, creates. And, the big thing that he was questioned prior to arriving here that I think he's answered pretty well is his pressure in the forward line. He's laid some really good tackles, chase down tackles, frontal pressure, and consistently is producing good results in that regard, in forward 50 pressure.
The forward pressure in particular, it seems, just watching you play your last two games, that seems to be almost the standout difference in what was happening before the break compared to what was happening or what is happening after the break. Did you consciously set about addressing that and making that a priority focus over the break?
We came out of the break with 2 or 3 really strong focal points, and they link into the way we want to play footy overall. They might not be specifically like those words, but we've been pretty pleased with the way the guys have attacked the areas that we worked on in that 2-week training schedule, and it's on the way and with still room for improvement.
John, could you blame Mark Nikoski if he came to you, or if he hasn't already, or considered pulling the penny? How many players have you seen go through what he's been through in the past 2 or 3 years?
Not many. Not many with the serious nature, and this wrist injury, he felt something happened to it in the game and wasn't even going to bother getting it checked out because it felt that minor, and he thought just precautionary he would run it by the docs. Now it's ended up being the critical ligament within your wrist that he's damaged and puts him in a splint for 3 months. So really stiff. But we're giving Mark a little bit of recovery space to get over that, and I'll sit down and have a chat with him in the next week, I would expect, about how he's feeling and what's going through his head.
Naturally, I suppose that the retirement would be looming large at some points, given he's pretty flat, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. That will be part of our discussion, how he's feeling mentally, what he wants to do. It's it's a serious injuries to his wrist, and the number one thing is to regain proper use of his hand. So that'll be our absolute priority.
The importance of the game against Adelaide was summed up probably by Waters this week, saying it was an 8-point game.
Yeah. You sure you didn't put the words in his mouth, Lockie? Are you sure?
Do you agree?
I reckon you teed him up beforehand.
Do you agree with him?
We're going to try twice as hard this week as we ever have.
Is it a grand final for you?
There's no cup, so no.
Well, I don't know. That was going to be the response.
No, I haven't heard that one before. No, it's not a grand final this week. No, it's an important game, though, as was last week and the previous 11 or 12.
But games against teams that you're directly competing with, sort of jockeying position on the ladder, you basically play a team in pretty much the same position as you are, and a team that was regarded as having similar capabilities to you at the start of the year.
Yep.
Those games assume a heightened importance.
They can't assume any more heightened importance. And, if Adelaide beat us or we lost to GWS on the weekend, who aren't fighting for a spot in the 8, does that matter? No, it doesn't matter anymore. If we can't win, we're dictating our own fate. So, but the fact that you play you can have a look down the track, and we play Collingwood. You think, well, if you beat Collingwood, that's one game you can peg back on them if you both have the same fortunes ongoing. But it's hard enough. I can't concentrate on all those things at once. I've got enough to worry about, 8-point games, and I've got to put double the amount of work in this week. It's killing me.
You've got to get a cup, mate.
I've got to get a cup, medals, runner-up medals and premiership medals they give out.
John, you mentioned how training today. Is that coming up okay?
Yeah, going really well. Yeah.
I think you said earlier in the week you was a bit sore. Or...
No, I don't know if I said that. Someone asked the question. I don't know.
Thought it was you.
It could have been me. That's what I said. It's a busy week, 8 points. No, Nick's going well. Yep.